Hey guys, Avatar here. Welcome back. Today we're gonna go over, take a look here at the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. I believe it's currently in beta. I just want to give you guys kind of a first look at it, see kind of what it's all about. Maybe if you're interested, you can pick it up in beta, or as soon as it gets released, it's going to be free to play, I believe. So you can look into that. There's two overall, points of this game. It has an attack and a defend feature. The defend feature is what we're looking at right now. You basically get to build your own castle. So that's cool. Within your castle, you get to end up putting in like minions and traps and all that good stuff. So we can talk about the defend portion of it first. So, being a free-to-play model, a lot of it is time-based, unfortunately. So, you have two overall currencies in the game. You have your life force and your gold. Now, both are used to basically upgrade these different types of buildings that you initially have. So you start with the Architect Office. The Architect Office can build these little mines here, and these mines will produce gold and life force for you, depending on what level you have them. They'll produce more, and over time. You have a worker's cabin, which is fully upgraded at rank 5. What that basically means is that anytime I want to upgrade something, it's going to be using a worker. So because I have 5 workers, I can only have 5 things upgrading at any one point in time. A hero trainer, which will allow your heroes to level up. Right now my current max is 14. If I level up it again, it will be 19. In order to level up again, though, I need to make my Castle Heart rank 4. Now this is the Castle Heart rank. Right now it's rank 3. To level it up to rank 4, I would need more life force. So that's interesting. Your blacksmith is obviously what a blacksmith sounds like. It's able to craft gear for your heroes. As you level up, the gear itself will level up as well. And over here we have a research lab, which allows you to upgrade any kind of units that you have purchased already. And a summoning portal, which will let you purchase traps and minions. And then finally a potion brewery, which obviously allows you to buy potions that you can use in battle. There's this Cornelius' Emporium as well, which basically is more of the microtransaction part of it. You can pay these gems, which is the third currency, for you basically spend real money to get these gems, and then you can use these gems to basically put a different skin on your castle here, which is pretty cool. So how this ends up working is your Castle Heart is your Castle Heart. You need to continue to upgrade that in order to upgrade everything else. Once you upgrade it, you can basically upgrade everything else. The Architect's Office right now is rank 3. In order to get to rank 4, I need another Castle Heart. Every time you upgrade your Architect Office, you can get another room. So, if you see down here, right now I have 4 out of 5 rooms counted. So technically right now I could add a 5th room. I really don't want to. I'm personally trying to save and get up to like maybe 6 or 7 rooms and just try to build an awesome labyrinth. But once you upgrade that, you can get another room, as well as every time you upgrade, you can also put another gold mine and life force mine down as well. I have 3 of each right now. If I get the 4th Castle Heart, I can put 1 of each down as well. These mines, they produce an X amount of silver, or I should say the gold or life force per hour. Let's take a look here. So it's got a capacity, and then it has a production rate of per hour, and then obviously upgrading it gives you the upgrade there. Now you can also get the gold and life force just by running dungeons as well. Your castle is ranked down here, so my castle right now is level 9. So anyone who has a level 9 hero, it's possible that my castle will come up on their like dashboard, and I'll show you guys that a little bit later, so they could hypothetically attack it. And if they complete it, they'd end up getting a percentage of my gold and life force. At that point, my castle would be shielded, and I wouldn't be able to get looted for quite some time. I could still be attacked, and people could still run and get the XP from killing the monsters, but they wouldn't actually be able to loot my room here. It's called, I think, the vault, I think it's called. Right, so let's take a look here. Down here we have a battle log. So if anyone did attack me, we would see what they attacked me and how they did. I believe they actually have views as well, or replays. No one's attacked me yet, though. I don't know if it's because... I'm guessing it's because there's probably a lot of people with level 9 castles, as well as I don't have full defense rating, which we'll talk about that in a minute. But so the castle isn't probably that appetizing for people to attack, and again, we'll talk about that a little bit later. So my defense rating, as you level up your architect office, your defense rating goes up as well. Actually, I believe it's tied to your summoning portal. So as you get a higher defense rating, you can summon more and more creatures. Some creatures have more of a defense rating than others. See, this guy's got a 1 defense rating, this guy's got a 1, this guy's got a 6. And then some of the guys, this is like Cyclops, have different types of abilities that you can select. So I can make him have an offensive tackle, which dashes towards hero and stuns him, slams a 4 for a powerful stunning attack, for floor punch, or even Fists of Rage, which attacks with a combo of punches. So there can be kind of some strategy in how you want to place your defenses and how you want to set your guys to end up playing. So you have Headshot, Spread Eagle, and Trapper Keeper. Some archers there. Right now, for the purpose of this video, it's a very basic setup. Enemy hero would just spawn here and then just go through here, and these guys would aggro them. This would be a very easy dungeon to go through. It wouldn't be very difficult at all. If I were to add a room, right now I have some inventory, so right now I actually have some rooms in my inventory. So if I wanted to add a room, let's say I wanted to add this cross chamber, I would just select it and plop it right in there. Obviously that wouldn't do much because they just most likely ignore it altogether. But once you start to get more rooms, you can make a little bit more of a labyrinth, a maze, to challenge your opponents. Okay. Anything you take away will just be stored in your inventory. So once you purchase it, you kind of stay with it. So I could technically get rid of one of these snotters here, and then it would go ahead and it would pop into my inventory here. As you can see, I have a few snotters. Okay. So out of all the creatures you can summon, there's quite a few, and then it gets pretty crazy the higher level you get, as well as traps. There's several traps now. I think there's not that many traps. Well, there really is, because even though these traps seem like there's only a few of them, as you progress in the game, they get significantly stronger, and they really become extremely hard to tackle. This early in the game, they're really very, very easy, but later on they become very hard to deal with, and it's really difficult to get past them. So the summoning portal is how you summon minions and purchase them. As you upgrade it, again, see here, it would take me the Castle Heart rank 4 to upgrade it. It would take me 6 hours, and it would up my defense rating by 20, and it also give me some of these things to unlock, and it's 12,000 gold. The 12,000 gold isn't that hard to get. You can mine it quite a bit, like that one. I just had 2,250 in there. So, it isn't that hard to get stuff. Unfortunately, because it's going to be a free-to-play model, it takes forever if you want to, upgrade right away. So, if you're one of the players who likes to play and put like 8 hours at a time into a game, you might get aggravated at this game, or you just might dump a lot of money in there. Because one of the ways around upgrading it, and see, let's upgrade this. It takes 4 hours. Now it's under construction for 4 hours. If I wanted to finish now, I can, but it's going to cost me 150 gems. So that's kind of how they're, spinning the whole, free-to-play microtransaction. That's where they're trying to make their money now. Is that technically play to win? I don't think so. It just is just going to help you expedite your process and make your castle a higher level quicker. I don't think it actually gives anyone an advantage, right? Everything available is going to be available. There's something like super secret that you can only get by buying. But again, if you're somebody who likes to pour hours into a game at a time, it's going to become aggravating, because even if you say, okay, well maybe I'll just do what I can with the castle and then I'll go level my heroes. Well, here's the problem with that. My hero rank level 3, my max level is only 14. Okay, so my mage is 12. In order for me to upgrade this, I need to get a Castle Heart rank 4. Castle rank 4, I need 24,000 gold. So I'll upgrade that there. Now it's going to cost 12. It's going to take 12 hours for me to do that. Okay, or I could upgrade again for 300 gems and finish it now. But so 12 hours, I could cap this guy at 14. Well, I could cap all 3 of these guys at 14 in 12 hours. So You know, and who knows how long the next stage could take. Maybe it'd take another 12, maybe 14, 16. I don't know. It seems like it goes up pretty significant. I mean, we're already at 12, and this is only rank 3. So it's just something to think about. What it does interest me is that I can play this game for a half hour, 45 minutes, and kind of feel like I've accomplished quite a bit. You know, I've mined all my mines, so you know I've taken all of them so they can start earning again. I've queued up a few upgrades, and maybe I've gotten a level or two. Excuse me, on my heroes, and I'll be good to go at that point. I like the castle feature. I like the defense feature and everything. I'm not so sure I like doing it right now, again, because I feel like there's just so much opportunity, but I'm kind of limited right now to my hero counts. Let me show you a little bit more about the actual placing of defenses. So you buy traps, you can put the traps down. As you buy different monsters, you have these little like kind of defense aggro zones. Each aggro zone is going to have its own defense rating, and so you can't like completely overload one spot. So you can see all these guys in here are 19 out of 20, so I could only add 1 more defense rating there, 5 more defense rating there, 1 there, 1 there. This guy's a boss, Count Stonningham. So yeah, I mean it's interesting. You can kind of just plug guys down. Let's see if I can plug anybody down. Yeah, so I can make another defense rating right here. So I can plug some guys, a puppeteer, maybe a derp, maybe a cyclops. Okay, and as you can see, my defense rating goes up there. All right. Research lab. I don't know if I even cover this. This upgrades everything. So if you want to upgrade traps, you're here. So if I have rotating cannons, which I do, if I want to upgrade, it's going to cost me 2,000 life force, which I don't actually have right now. The hamster wheel, you can upgrade that. I currently have 1 hamster wheel. It's down here doing a whole lot of nothing. I can upgrade it for 10,000. Okay. So now this is a more effective hamster wheel. If I want to upgrade creatures, the same thing. It's going to upgrade all the creatures you have at the time. So if you have 20 chickens, it says you have 8. I could upgrade them all for 410. Okay. So I mean that's basically the defense building in a nutshell. I think it's a cool feature that they show the battle log. As you get higher level and as your castle starts to become more difficult, more people will attack it. You're able to see kind of how strong castle is by like the XP that they have inside, as well as crowns. These crowns, each player has crowns. You can get crowns from either attacking another player's castle and successfully beating it, or by having people attack your castle and failing miserably and dying. Potions. One quick thing I want to say about potions: you can buy a ton of potions, but during battle you can only use 4 at any given time. Okay. So I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but it's really fun and addicting, to be honest with you. Just because there's so many different possibilities that you can do. Let's look at all these rooms. I mean, there's just so many different rooms that you can purchase and try to make your own, and you can make a maze, and you can start the high-end play. You really want to try to make a room where you kind of end up putting someone in a small, tight corridor, and really maybe put a couple traps there, as well as maybe some Cyclops that stuns them, and maybe some archers. Some of the high-level archers do a lot of damage. This headshot does a lot of damage if it hits through. So it's pretty interesting, especially the possibilities are kind of endless. Let's go ahead and take a look at the heroes, shall we? If I can do it properly here. Okay. So this is my mage. This is my main guy. The inventory is pretty straightforward. They don't have anything special as far as your items. It's basic, chest piece, helmet, shoulders, couple rings, necklace, weapon. They have a few different slots. I bought it 1 slot. Again, you can buy slots for real money. The gem source. The name of the game is the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. So you'd imagine you get pretty epic loot, and I do. I do get good loot on occasion. But we also have this blacksmith here, which you can buy items. The items here aren't bad, but they're most likely not going to be as good as stuff that is dropping. And if nothing's dropping to that degree, you're just having bad luck. One thing I want to point out is that there's 3 classes. There's the mage, there's the archer, and there's the knight. Each class has 3 different types of weapons. It's all the basic thing, but they have different unique. So, mage has basically 3 different staffs. One staff has a 0.7 attack speed. That's basically like a quick fire single target damage spell staff. One staff has a second and a half attack speed. That's more of an orb that is a slow moving orb and blows up and does AoE damage. And the third is a 1 second attack damage. That's like a kind of an arcing chain lightning thing that hits your main target and kind of bounces off a little bit. The archer, same deal, right? They have 3 different types of crossbows. I don't know why it's kind of lagging out there. One is like a kind of like a machine gun type crossbow. Should be the 0.4 seconds per attack. One is like an arching, kind of like a 3-peater, so it's like a arc. It's a 1 second attack, and then one's a 1.5, which that is like a almost like a ballista, where it'll hit anything in a straight line, so it'll just penetrate everything. The knight has three as well. One, again, a really quick sword there as a 0.7 attack. It's a two-handed. They're all two-handed weapons, but it's just a really quick single target. Let's see. Then we have a 1 second, which does a little bit of AoE damage, and then a hammer, which is even slower. I think it knocks them back. So it's interesting. Also, another thing to note about this game is the skills. So you can have 4 skills on your hotbar, and you have quite a plethora of skills to choose from. The mage specifically has 4 in each tree. He's got 3 trees. He's got spontaneous combustion, which is fire, electric conduction, which is obviously like electricity, and unholy rendition. Now, there's really no reason to go all 4 in any which tree, so you kind of just have to pick and choose what you want. For instance, in electric induction, every single one of these spells ends up making the enemy more vulnerable to magic. So you're going to want to take at least one of these, most likely probably not more than one. I personally take Thunderclap, which is AoE. I have an AoE build right now. AoE that does obviously act as a lightning round, stunning and dealing 29 magic damage per second to enemies around you for 6 seconds. Enemies also shocked and become vulnerable to magic damage. I follow that up with a Vortex Rift. I think I actually start with Vortex Rift, which is an unholy rendition, which pulls armies together, dealing a significant amount of damage. And then I finish with Inferno, which is a stream of concentrated fire to all enemies in front of you, dealing 36 magical damage per second. I also have Deathbolt in there, just because it's a hard-hitting nuke with a little bit of health steal in there, so that's always fun. Other skills in here, like Conflag, it's an AoE area that you kind of hit and then just kind of, fries for a while. And then you have Fireball, which is, after a short delay, it brings down a fireball from the sky, which does, AoE damage and a good amount of damage as well. And Flame Burst, which is a close range, like cone fire burst skill. Now, you don't really want to take Flame Burst and Inferno, right? So Inferno is the one I'm taking now. It's just basically a pure beam of fire, just deals a lot of damage. Over here you have Armor, you have Chain Lightning, which is just, just bounces to 4 targets. Electric Charge, which makes you kind of like, almost like do like a leap type of thing. And phasing through enemies, and they become even more vulnerable to magic damage. And we already talked about Vortex Rift and Deathbolt and Unholy Rendition. There's also Nightmare Cage, which traps the enemy in the underworld, removing them from combat for 5 seconds. I haven't really used this at all, just because it takes them out of combat, which means you can't attack them, which is I mean, I don't really see the use in it, honestly. I haven't gotten that far in the game, but at this point in time, I don't really see the point in taking somebody out of combat for 5 seconds. If it was like a 5-second stun, I'd see it, but only having 4 skills, that's such an important, it just doesn't, it doesn't justify a whole skill slot. And then Death Grip, which is another AoE. It's along the same vein as basically Inferno, so they both are channeling, and you're not really going to want to take both. You take one or the other. This kind of slows them, whereas this just does a little bit more damage. And both the Archer and the Knight have the same type of thing going on. The Archer has a lot more control skills, and they have 5 in comparison. The Mage is kind of even with a 4, 4, and 4. The Archer has 4 in Marksmanship, 3 in Companion, and 5 in Control. The Knight has 4 in Mastery, 4 in Combat Techniques, and 4 in Dragon's Fire. So, I mean, there's a nice variety of different abilities that you can choose from and that you can have. And it really makes your play style pretty unique, and I like that about the game. But it also makes you kind of think on the run, because a lot of castles are, most of them are user-created. So you might have to go to a specific skill set or a specific, kind of build in order to accomplish a certain castle. Now, These castles with the green banner means it was basically, you know, created by the developers, whereas all these castles, these are all the people that are just, you know, creating castles, and there's crowns. So this guy's got a lot of crowns, this guy doesn't. So earlier I was saying people aren't attacking my castle, it's probably because they're clicking it and they're realizing the rewards aren't worth it. So if I attack this castle, even though he has 0 crowns, I know that after I kill all the minions, I'll probably have about roughly 1200 XP from the creatures, 500 gold from the creatures, and 500 life force from the creatures, and a little bit of gold and life force from the chest as well at the end. Down here it says I'll get 6 crowns if I win, 24 if I lose. That's not good. Whereas we can bet that this guy's got 223 crowns, he's going to have significant more loot. Let's take a look. If I can select it, there we go. So if I can beat this, I'll get 4,000 XP from creatures, 600 for gold and life force. And then he must have no gold in his chest, because he has 19 for winning and then 2,000 life force for winning. And then look at that disparity in the crowns. If I beat that castle, I'll get 24 crowns and only lose 6 if I lose. So it's exciting. Besides the fact that you can attack these other castles, there is somewhat of a single-player campaign. They kind of set you up to attack this one, and then they want you to attack this one, then that one, then finally you go here. If you look here, if this ever loads, they have different stuff. So I started at the little Spitaley, and then I went to the Heated Gardens and capture, you know, this is King Snottingham is the final boss, and then some dragon here, and then finally this guy is some ogre. Once I defeat him, we'll go to the 15 to 19 range, 20 and then 30, and then 25 to 29. So, you know, you kind of progress as you go to get different places, and it's kind of cool. There's competitions as well. So these are different competitions. It's kind of like a time trial almost. How fast can you basically finish these castles? Can you finish these castles at all? So it's exciting. They have a lot of support there, and there's a lot of stuff to do. Also, if you're tired of all these user-created castles, or you don't think you want to do any of these, you can pay a little bit of gold, and they'll respawn some more castles for you, because there's obviously more than just, you know, I don't know, whatever, there's probably 20 on my screen or so. So that's exciting. But yeah, there's the competitions. I haven't really tried any of them, you know. I mean, I'm level 12. I mean, they kind of have a little bit for everything, but it's all about time trials, right? So I'm not that into it. So when you attack a castle, you can't just take your time to win, right? In order to actually technically win, you have to finish in a certain amount of time. Now, as you attack a castle, you'll have 3 stars, and as that time ticks down, you'll slowly progress to 2, and then 1, and then finally 0. So if you take too long, it's basically a draw, because you took too long beating it, even if you did beat it, so you don't really get anything for it, and they don't really lose anything for it, but no one really wins either. So for the demonstration of this game, we will attack somebody of relevance. I'm level 12 with the mage. It seems like it's been a little bit harder. So let's attack this guy. Let's see. 1300 XP. That's not very challenging. Let's see. 3000. Oof, this might be a tough one. So let's take a look. The average time of duration is 3 minutes. Defense rating, it's capped up there at 175 out of 75. It's defeated 6 heroes, and it has 9 traps. So let's see. I have a AoE mage build, and I've noticed that it's I don't want to say it's weak, but it's hard. It's extremely hard to play with. My knight is level, I think, 2 or 3, and he already has more HP than my mage does. So these are sticky traps. If you actually get hit by them, you get slowed. It doesn't do damage, but you slow. And again, that can become a big issue if you got a lot of guys here. So these traps, if you got hit by those and knock you out, this is obviously just going to set you ablaze. If they upgrade this, if they go faster and do more damage. So now you can see kind of what I can do here in theory. So we do AoE, when we make them a little bit more susceptible, and then we just blow them up with that. Now, Pound More, obviously, as you can see, does a lot of damage. So being a mage, I can't really kite him, nor can I really tank him. So the only thing I can really do is chug potions. I haven't played the Archer or the Knight this high level, so I don't know if it's kind of more the same with them. But I know as the mage, I more often than not have to chunk potions for the bigger creatures. See, that Archer right there is gonna be a pain in the ass, because they target you and they just do so much damage. So I killed him. Alright. So as you notice, I don't even really use my main weapon very much. It's just not... I mean, it's useful, but I mean, the mana really doesn't end out, and it's just... You really have to do a lot of damage to people, so you don't really have time to do that. So this guy has a good amount of traps and everything else here. Now you can see this Scorpion guy is just completely tanking. Just completely tanking me. Alright. So these little red orbs that drop, obviously health. It's fun. You can see in the top right corner, the timer. Now all these guys are being spawned from... There's like a voodoo doctor guy around here somewhere. I need to find him, or... There he is. You need to kill the voodoo doctor guy, or he's gonna keep spawning him like that, like right there. I was about to say these guys aren't that hard to deal with, but... They're pretty easy to deal with. They're just gonna overwhelm you very easily. Gotta make sure you kill that voodoo doctor. The voodoo doctor's got a lot of HP for being a caster, but hey. You also want to watch out, like, you know, you'd be surprised at how quickly a lot of those little small minions can really bring you down, especially if you're just kind of tanking them. And again, this is just what I've experienced with the mage. It might be a completely different story with the knight. I've noticed, again, the knight has comparatively to the mage has already more HP than he does, and he's only level 3 or 2. Alright, so you can see up there, I've already gone down to 2 stars, so I'm already kind of behind the power curve. Oh. Oh man, there's just so many guys all the time. Oh man. I love that spell though. It's a pretty it's a pretty rewarding game. I mean, it feels good. It feels good. Now, it might leave you wanting more. It kind of makes you want to play maybe a game like Diablo or Torchlight or maybe in Path of Exile with some friends. It's just such a fun game that it really kind of makes you think of those games and of kind of a friend level type of thing. You would like to maybe do these dungeons with a friend or with a couple friends. As of right now, it's not a possibility, so it's kind of sad. I don't know if I'll be able to kill this Count Snottingham. Especially with the... He drops that freaking sludge or whatever. He's just tanking me like a boss. He's only level 10, so... Alright, there we go. So we didn't really get any good loot that time, but I mean... Can't complain. So I finished with 1, so I technically still beat it. So I'll get some loot. There it is. Here we go. We'll see. I got 3 crowns. I got 700 gold, 2800 life force, some XP, then I can rate the castle. I'll give that castle, it's a pretty good castle, I'll give it 3 stars. I get 225 gold for it. You can put little comments there if you'd like. So I mean, overall, it's a pretty fun game, but again, like I said, it can leave you wanting more, because that's all there really is to the offense part of it. Some of the castles might be a little bigger, but, you know, it really makes you kind of want to play a dungeon crawler, or at least in my opinion it does. And it kind of wants you to get your friends involved a little bit too. So I feel like the game has a lot of potential. I don't know if they're thinking about maybe expanding the castles or maybe making a little bit more of a PvE aspect in the game where maybe you can attack with friends some like epically big castles, but that'd be cool if they did something like that. I don't think they are planning anything like that, so we'll see. As it is, I mean, it's a free to play game. I mean, it definitely looks like it's got good production value. I think you'll have fun playing it. If you don't want to spend real money, it'll be a good game that you can maybe get on once a day for an hour or so, and you know, get a little bit of enjoyment out of it and get out. So, I mean, that's cool. It is what it is, right? So, let's go over here. Let's go to the potion shop. Let's buy some more potions. Get some potions in there. Sell some other stuff. I mean, this stuff is like almost worthless. It's a pretty basic inventory system, just like any other game. You just, you know, if you can equip it, it'll show you if it's better or not. So, alright, so there you have it, guys. That is the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot, currently in beta. Once it's released, it'll be free to play. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.